Ever get that feeling? Like
Right.
right before you hit send on a payment, something just feels off.
Oh, yeah.
That little voice saying, "Are you sure about this?" I had one of those close calls recently, an online deal, and it really got me thinking
Totally.
how easily we can get pulled in.
Mhm.
And for those who do fall victim, what's that recovery like? Not just the financial part, but emotionally.
It's huge and often overlooked. Everyone focuses on the money lost, but the emotional hit from a scam,
Yeah,
that's deep, long-lasting.
exactly. Which is why this deep dive is so interesting to me. We're looking at the Scars Institute. They're doing amazing work.
Right.
They've got this guide, Awakening a Fearless Heart in Scam Victims.
Yeah.
After my own near miss, I really want to see what they say.
Smart. Their approach is really insightful. They go deep into your feelings, Start with acknowledging the wounds scams leave. Betrayal, the guilt, even shame.
It's so easy to say, well, I should have known better.
Mm.
But actually dealing with feeling that vulnerable,
Yeah.
that's going to be tough.
Oh, for sure. And Scars, they emphasize anyone can be scammed. They've got this line, their vulnerability was exploited by someone else's dishonesty. It's not about being gullible, it's having your good nature used against you.
That is such a key difference, because if we just jump to blaming ourselves, the scammer wins twice.
Exactly. Which is why Scars focuses on this whole awakening your fearless heart idea. It's about getting yourself back, that ability to trust after
Right.
something like that.
So how do we do that? They break it down into 4 steps. The first one, self-compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds simple. But after a scam, isn't that the hardest thing to do?
Absolutely. We internalize it like it's our fault. Scars wants us to reframe that, not deny the mistake, but get that scams. They're designed to use our good instincts, our kindness, wanting to help.
Preying on the good, yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we do self-compassion when we feel foolish, ashamed? How does that actually work?
They talk about treating yourself how you'd treat a good friend in the same spot. You wouldn't yell at them, tell them they're dumb for falling for it. You'd listen, comfort them.
That is really powerful, giving ourselves that same empathy, even if it's hard. Which kind of leads us to step 2, embracing vulnerability. Interesting, isn't it? After being tricked, we want to hide.
Yeah.
Shut down so it doesn't happen again.
It makes sense. It's natural. But Scars says healing. That means going towards connection, not running from it.
So after a scam, what's that even look like? Who do we reach out to? And how do you even begin talking about something so personal, so raw?
Start with someone you completely trust. Could be a close friend, family, therapist, someone who just listens without judgment.
That takes guts, though, to open up when you're feeling that exposed.
Oh, huge guts. And Scars reminds us, asking for help. That's not weakness, that's strength. It's realizing we don't have to go through this alone.
Sometimes just saying it out loud helps, get it out of your head.
Absolutely. And sharing our story, it helps us make sense of it too. Untangle the mess of feelings, get clear again.
Which brings us to step 3, radical truthfulness. Now, this one's powerful. What does that even mean, being radically truthful when talking about scam recovery?
It means facing what happened head on. No sugarcoating, no minimizing. And that includes being real about our own part, even if it's tough.
Because I bet looking back, there are always those red flags we missed.
Exactly. Radical truthfulness isn't about self-blame, though. It's about owning our part so we learn, right? So we grow.
Okay, so understanding why we might have fallen for it. Were there patterns in how we thought, acted, that made us vulnerable?
Yep. It's asking, what did I learn here? What warning signs can I look out for next time?
Turning it into a way to grow, even if it stings a bit. Which leads to the last step, maybe the hardest, forgiving ourselves.
That's where the real freedom is, but it's often the longest, most winding road to get there.
Because if we hold on to guilt, shame, it's like the scammer still got power over us.
Right. You said it. Forgiveness is letting go of that. It's saying, okay, I made the best choices I could with what I knew then.
We're human, we mess up, and we deserve kindness, even from ourselves. How do we even start forgiving ourselves, though, for something that caused so much pain, turned our lives upside down?
It's a journey, not a light switch. Scars talks about self-soothing, journaling maybe, meditation, being in nature, stuff that's good for our hearts, minds.
Rebuilding that sense of worth, that foundation inside us that maybe got shaken.
Right. An important thing to remember, healing takes its own time. No right or wrong way.
So we've covered the emotional side, but there's more, right? Scars also gives us tools for the worry, the anxiety that sticks around because that fear of being tricked again. It's real.
Oh, it's huge. Can paralyze you. That's why they've got those 3 steps to let go of the worry. They call it going from victim to victor.
I like that. Taking back your power, What's step one in all this?
Acknowledge and name the worry. Sounds too simple, but there's power in giving that worry a voice.
Like shining a light on something hiding in the dark, not pushing it away, but going, okay, you're here.
Exactly. And often when you drag those fears into the open, they get a lot less scary.
All right, so we've named the worry monster.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? How do we tame it?
Scars calls it challenge negative thoughts. That's where we look at those worries closely.
Because a lot of times those worries, they're not even based on facts. It's all fear.
Exactly. Scars gives this great example, right? You're stuck thinking, I'll never recover from this financially. Scary thought.
Ugh.
But is it true?
It's easy to get swept up in it, but like you said, got to challenge it. So how do we tell the difference? Fear-based versus what's real. Anything practical we can do.
Logic and evidence, that's key. Instead of never break it down, ask yourself, what steps can I take, even if they're small, towards recovery?
Right, focusing on what you can control, not the stuff you can't.
Exactly. Maybe you track your spending super close now, or you find a financial counselor. Those small steps, they chip away at feeling helpless. They build momentum.
It's like going from scarcity to, like, possibility, you know?
Love that. And that's the perfect bridge to step 3. Focus on the present.
Oh, this one's big for me, because if I'm always replaying the scam or freaking out about the future, that's just an anxiety loop I'm stuck in.
You got it. Our minds can be brutal. Scars suggests mindfulness stuff to bring us back to right now.
So deep breaths when the worries come on strong.
Exactly. Or focus on your senses. What are you seeing, hearing, feeling, all that? Brings you back to your body, out of your head.
It's like taking back control, right?
Yeah.
I can't change what happened, but I can choose how I react to it right now.
And that's huge as we go from recovery to, like, real resilience. Because awakening a fearless heart is not just bouncing back, it's bouncing forward.
From victim to victor.
Love it.
And SCARS has strategies for that. What I loved was embrace self-empowerment. How's that fit into all this scam recovery-wise?
Well, think about it. When we're scammed, we feel powerless, right? Like someone took our control away. Self-empowerment is taking it back.
Okay, so what's that look like, practically speaking?
Starts with knowledge. We learn about common scams, what our rights are, how to protect ourselves next time. Knowledge is power.
It's like that experience, it becomes the thing that makes you stronger.
Totally. And then action. Could be reporting the scam, talking to a lawyer, even just telling your story so others don't get fooled.
Every little thing, no matter how small, it puts you back in the driver's seat.
You got it. And as you get back on your feet, you can start to reframe the experience.
Yeah.
That's SCAR's next big strategy.
Reframing. That's a biggie. Is it really possible, though? Finding something good after, all that pain.
It's not easy, but yeah, it's possible. It's not downplaying the harm, pretending it didn't happen. It's looking for meaning in the mess.
So not why me, but what did I learn from this?
Bingo. Maybe it made you wiser, more careful, more compassionate even, because you get it now.
It's like, I messed up bad at work once, years ago. Mortified I was.
Oh, I bet.
But instead of letting it crush me, I used it. Motivation to get better, skills, everything. It took time. But looking back, that stumble is how I grew.
Perfect example of reframing. Took the negative, made it a positive.
And sometimes that growth, it means reaching out to others who get it, which is SCAR's last point.
Yeah.
Build a support system.
So important. Healing from this, it's not a solo mission.
We talked about opening up to people we trust. But building a support system, it's more than that, right?
It's ongoing. Surround yourself with people who get it, who lift you up, who celebrate your wins with you.
A support group, maybe, for scam victims specifically. A therapist who knows trauma. Even just that one friend always listens without judgment. That network makes all the difference.
Huge difference. It reminds us, even when we feel alone, we're not.
We've covered a ton today. But before we wrap this deep dive up, something to think about. If you could go back, talk to your pre-scam self, what's one piece of advice you'd give?
Ooh, good one. I think I'd say, trust your gut and never be afraid to ask questions. Even if it's awkward, a little skepticism, that's a good thing.
Wise words. For me, it'd be this. This doesn't define you. You're worthy of love, respect, trust, no matter what.
Beautifully said. And to everyone listening, if any of this resonated, you are so not alone. There's hope, there's healing. You can reclaim your fearless heart.
We'd love to hear what hit home for you. Find us on social media. Keep this conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay fearless.